Hello, my name is Jay, and today I'm going to be showing you how to modify the Nerf Maverick 6-shot blaster. It is a very fun gun to mod, it is easy to mod, and if you're just starting out in modifying Nerf guns, I'd recommend this one as your first choice for modifying guns. There's a lot you can do with it. I'm going to be showing you how to remove the air restrictors, how to fully extend the barrel, and I'm going to be telling you how to do the penny mod. So I'm going to go ahead, take this apart, and I will show you what it looks like on the inside. Okay, so I've got all the screws undone, and I don't really have trouble opening these things up, but if you are having trouble, use a flathead screwdriver, gently pry things open. It comes off pretty easily. Granted, there's a bit more tension in mine already. I've already modified this one completely, so you're going to see some things that are different than what it would look like right out of the box. So, looking inside here, you can see that some things are obviously different. The most noticeable thing right here is that there are 5 pennies behind the spring. Now, that is a very easy thing to do. You just take 5 pennies and you put them right behind the spring, and that adds to the spring tension, gives you more power. So that's the first thing you can do. It's very easy, doesn't require any tools or anything to try and take things apart besides the screwdriver. Now, one of the great things about the Maverick is that I love how it's set up. A lot of the components in here are already attached, they're not going anywhere, they're all screwed into the body of the gun. So the next thing that you can do, and this is going to require a little work, is when you get this right out of the box, there's usually a little plastic nub right here, and I've taken the liberty of using my handy dandy Leatherman, and I've taken the saw blade, which is right here, and I've very carefully sawed off that plastic nub. And then to make it smooth, I've used the file on the other side of my handy dandy Leatherman to file it down. And you have to also do that with this part right underneath here. Right there, there's another plastic little nub, and that keeps the barrel from dropping down fully. It kind of stops a little ways out. But it's once you saw those little parts off, it makes things a lot easier to load. And the other thing you can do, this requires a little bit of muscling, is you can take this whole barrel apart, and give me a minute here. It does come apart, it's just, you gotta muscle it a little bit, and it's okay to use a screwdriver for it. Just be careful you don't break anything. And this pops off to reveal, whoops, lost a few parts here. It's held together by a metal rod, and you can take that out before you saw this little plastic piece off. That makes things a lot easier, so you're not holding the entire barrel. Where did that plastic piece go? There it is. Now, the other side has a plastic piece, and there's also a spring. And I don't know where the spring went. I will have to find that momentarily. But I can find that later. So, the barrel comes apart into a few different pieces, and you're going to have to go in here, and there are 3 screws in here that you have to unscrew. So I'm going to unscrew those, show you the internals of the barrel, and show you what you can do with that. So this is what the inside of the barrel looks like. Once again, I will say that I've already modified this, which means I've removed the air restrictors from inside each of these, and I have, using wire cutters, chopped down the little pegs that are on each of these. Now these things come off. They're removed very easily, and inside is where the air restrictors are housed. They're a 3-pronged plastic piece and a small spring. You can remove them all by hand. It's very simple. That's what makes this thing a fantastic and easy gun to mod. It's good to start out on. It was the first gun that I ever modified. It's just really easy. And this is the other part of the barrel. It screws into these 3 screws right here, these screw holes. Now this other part of the barrel also comes apart. So if you wanted to, you could take the black piece off and just have it as all orange, but you might need some glue or something to keep it all together, and I don't really feel doing that, so I didn't do that. But I've seen people that do that, and it looks kind of cool. It's just not really my thing. And the other thing that's kind of important for in here is this little spring, the spring that I lost a little while ago. That goes right in here, and that's, whoop, boing. That's very important. It helps, you know, maintain contact with the plunger system, so that's very important. And so once you've cut down the little sticks on it and you've taken out the air restrictors, you can just put it back in very easily. Just make sure the screws are lined up. It just kind of, you know, slides back into place. You screw it back together, and with the metal rod, make sure that the spring is in, and you can use a little force. It's not, you know, it's not really flimsy. It's actually a pretty durable blaster. So when you're putting it back together, you know, you just like press it against the table or something if you have to. So it comes together pretty nicely. I'm gonna put it back together and show you what it looks like finished. Now, one more thing that I will mention before I put this blaster back together. My first Maverick actually broke, and it broke right here, right where this little pin goes. The plastic snapped and the pin actually bent. It's just from being used so much. And so what I did to kind of reinforce it a little is I put like a little band of hot glue across the little crack right there, right in the middle. And that, you know, gives it a little extra bit of grip on the pin. So when you're putting it back together, I found that it actually helps quite a bit to put one side on and use like a Phillips head screwdriver to grab that little spring in there. So you get that on the screwdriver and just slide it onto the metal band. And that makes things a lot easier when you're putting the gun back together. So I'm going to go ahead, screw it back together, and show you how it fires. Okay, so I've completely put the Maverick back together. You can see that the barrel drops all the way down to a pretty much 90-degree angle with the body of the gun. It's really nice. It makes everything much more accessible. The great thing about the Maverick is that it can hold pretty much all the darts that are being used nowadays. You got your suction cup, streamlines, you can shoot screamers, you can shoot elite darts, and it's always fun because you can spin the barrel, click it back into place really easily, and when you fire it, you can hear it kind of has a ring to it, which sounds pretty cool. So let's see, get out a loaded barrel, and pretty significant distance and speed, and that one bounced off my bed frame. Pretty cool. So once again, I will say that this is the ideal gun to mod if you are just starting out as far as modifying goes. A few disclaimers. It bugs me when the guns don't really have these little clips in it. I know they don't really do that much. You're not going to really need a sight or anything for a pistol, a Nerf pistol. You're not. But even so, it kind of adds to the look of the gun if you have it on there, and if you don't, I don't know. It just bugs me personally. I'm a perfectionist with this kind of stuff. The other thing that I've kind of run into a little bit is the screw that's right here. This one right there. If you screw it in a little too tight, when you pull it back, it's not going to want to slide forward as easily. So don't tighten that screw all the way, because then it's not going to spring back. And the other thing is, modding Nerf guns can reduce the lifespan of the blaster. So if you're modding, mod at your own risk. Be safe, be smart. If you don't feel comfortable using a saw blade, find someone who is more comfortable doing that. Wear protective eye gear. When you saw it, it does smell pretty bad, so cover your nose and mouth with your t-shirt if you really want to. And I did it over my trash can. Makes things a lot easier to clean up. Makes it less of a mess. And this is ideal for a lot of Nerf games. It's great. I have a holster for it. Grab the holster. Got this holster off of thinkgeek.com. It's perfect. It's got a cell phone pocket, which is ideal. It can hold 12 elite darts. The Maverick fits into it perfectly. It's great. It clips onto your waist and your leg. You could get it in left and right leg. Varieties, Kevlar, non-Kevlar. I got the Kevlar because I want it to go all out. And it is fantastic. It works really well. I love it. This is a good gun. I love this gun. It's fun to mod. It's fun to use. And it pretty much rocks. So yeah, I'm Jay. Thanks for watching.